Dr. P. Uma Maheshwari, Head and Associate Professor of Botany, to speak on the topic psychological skills and effective teaching and learning. And I think she's going to talk about the strong relationships which has to be between the student and the teacher, and how far understanding is going to pave a way for teaching and learning. So I would like to have this Aristotle's quote: "Those who know do; those who understand teach." So with this, I just invite Dr. P. Uma Maheshwari, and to her credit, she has guided 12 MPhil scholars and has published nearly 30 papers, and she has authored a book, and she has got a green thumb. Yes, ma'am, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Selva, for your nice introduction.
Yes, ma'am.
My humble pranams to our revered Ambas and delightful evening to our esteemed principal, respected controller of examination, and my dear colleagues. I am here to share some psychological skills for effective teaching and learning. For another 30 minutes, you are going to have the details of definition for terms and related to teaching learning processes, principles of effective teaching and learning, principles of learning and aspects of the teaching learning processes. So what is teaching? We all may know. Anyway, it's a process of interacting with the students. The process of engaging students in activities that will enable them to acquire the knowledge, skills, as well as worthwhile values and attitudes. What are the principles of teaching? Here are some principles: using previous knowledge of ourselves and providing for individual difference, readiness to give or share the knowledge, and meaningfulness, defining specific objectives of the lessons, proceeding from simple to complex, proceeding from concrete to abstract, principle of proceeding from general to specific, and principle of proceeding from known to unknown. So in dealing with the teaching approach, it is a set of principles, beliefs, or ideas about the nature of learning which is translated into the classroom. So here are some examples of teaching approaches. That is teacher-centered, learner-centered, subject matter-centered, teacher-dominated, interactive, constructive, disciplinal, integrated, individualistic, collaborative, direct, and indirect approaches. What is effective teaching? It is difficult to define effective teaching. People with completely different styles are equally effective. The one thing that we have learned in research in higher education is that there is no one best way of teaching. The ability to provide instruction to different students of different abilities while incorporating instructional objectives and assessing effective learning mode of the students. Next one is effective teaching strategies. To communicate well with the students and parents. It works effectively with students from culturally diverse backgrounds. Have good assessment skills, integrate technology into the curriculum, exhibit subject matter competence, implement appropriate instructional strategies, manage classrooms for optimal learning, invest time and effort, bring a positive attitude and enthusiasm to the classroom. So here are the effective teaching skills. Start with discipline, clear planning, time management, subject expertise, strong communication, student engagement, observation, and classroom management. We will see one by one. Discipline skills. Discipline is an important skill that you should possess as a teacher so as to be labeled as effective. A vital component of effective classroom management, your discipline ensures that positive behavior is encouraged inside classrooms. Next one, the most important discipline skills you can have includes being respectful, responding to students, and reciprocating their interest. A teacher should be skilled in setting an effective routine with the right amount of flexibility. The next one is classroom management skills. As a teacher, by ensuring good behavior of students, the battle is half won. But to be an effective teacher, you should also be able to help students develop study and work habits. Then, good classroom management skills start with setting certain ground rules to stress the importance of classroom dignity. Teachers should exercise patience along with a deep sense of care and kindness towards their wards. You as an empathetic teacher will win over the hearts of your students by demonstrating sensitivity, especially during student rifts. Observation skills. It is the prime responsibility of teachers to have a thorough understanding about the cognitive, emotional, and social development of students. Since a classroom is filled with students coming from different parental backgrounds, it makes sense to a teacher to be aware of the learning capabilities of different students. A class can be a mix of slow learners and intelligent students. This is a challenge that teachers face day in and day out when they need to adopt specific teaching patterns so that no student is left behind. Next, student management skills. Day in and day out, every teacher handles a bunch of students with different mentalities towards learning. While some students demonstrate a keen interest in learning, whereas others are distracted at the smallest provocation. Hence, for you to be called an effective teacher, you should develop student engagement skills so that you can motivate your students. Next, you can make the educational content interesting for students by using different strategies such as the use of visuals and impressive feats and facts. Next come communication skills. Your preparedness comes to the fore when you are in a position to clarify the doubts of students so that you can make the subject material interesting to them. Tagged as a noble profession that can change the lives of students for the better. Every effective teacher requires good interpersonal skills along with effective speaking and strong presentation skills. Teaching skills include all of these and more, such as great organizational skills. Then, teachers should be well prepared for their lectures, ensuring that they carry all the material that aids in teaching to the class. You should have a penchant for working in groups. along with motivational skills that will keep the fire burning in the bellies of students. An effective teacher should rank high on empathy and rapport building strategies. Then, subject matter expertise. Every teacher comes with a specific specialization. Putting in years of teaching experience, effective teachers stand in line with the changes to the curriculum of their favorite subject. Keeping themselves abreast with the new topics that are added to the course, effective teachers will ensure that their students receive the best education from them. When teachers demonstrate a high level of subject matter expertise, students will be encouraged to pose questions with a belief that they will be clarified then and there. This overall knowledge about the subject you have chosen to teach will thus pave the way for interesting classroom sessions. Time management skills. An effective teacher with an intention to offer repetitive practice to students should strategically plan homework tasks. You can ensure the best use of classroom time by framing and structuring assignments which will help students sit for studies while at home. Alongside ensuring that the curriculum is completed within the predefined time frame. You should also attach importance to the time taken by students to complete their assignments. Effective time management skills are vital for providing quality education to students while also meeting the specific learning needs of each student. Then, clear planning skills. You should be able to clearly plan what the objective for each class is. Planning ahead of time allows you as a teacher to be more confident about what you are going to teach each time you are in a class. Then, there can be holidays and unexpected events like this, which need to be taken into consideration while planning. Also, have measures for students who are absent at times to help them catch up with the rest of the class. It is not how much you know, but how much you care. If there is not any caring, then the knowledge will never be transmitted. So what to do? For that, we have to empathetically listen to the students and we have to communicate with them empathy. So students will forget what you said. Students will forget what you did, but student will never forget how you made them feel. And with the students, we have to approach with our heart. What is empathic communication? So mentally entering into the feeling of a person, that is our students, appreciating their perceptions or understanding. To seek first to understand and then be understood. To interact effectively and to influence others, we first need to understand them emotionally and intellectually. And this is the most needable psychological skill for the teachers. It aims at non-judgmentally sensing what it's like to be a speaker. That is, we should not judgmental towards our students and summarizing your impressions as they talk without comments. Listen to learn and learn to listen. Why should we have the empathetic listening? It signals that you are respectful, they feel valued by you. This builds trust, intimacy, and relationship over time. It demonstrates whether you comprehend what the speaker thinks and feels. That is, our students speak and thinks and feels. Then minimizes misunderstandings. What is the ultimate aim of this empathetic listening? The students can be understood, affirmed, validated, and appreciated. This empathic listening is deeply therapeutic and healing because it gives a person a psychological air. It enhances the student's motivation because satisfied needs do not motivate. It's only the unsatisfied need that motivates. and when we have to listen empathetically and how to listen empathetically. If you feel your partner equals in human worth, then genuine interest in that particular matter, when the listener is not distracted, at that time we have to listen the students empathetically. Then how to listen through this empathic manner is acknowledge the speaker. That is, we have to acknowledge the students and increase the students' self-esteem and confidence. Tell the students, you are important to me and I am not judging you. Gain the students' cooperation and reduce the stress of the students and tension. So these are the benefits of empathetic listening. It builds teamwork and gain trust, elicit openness, gain a sharing of ideas and thoughts, and obtain more valid information about the students. It results experience the emotional intimacy, strengthening the relationship, increase credibility of ideas from the students. So what need we should have all this empathetic listening or effective teaching. Ultimately, it goes to the student's point of view and they should learn accordingly what we have taught. So the effort we have taken, the effective teaching and observing the students, ultimately we have to make them to learn. So learning, it is a systematic teaching, does have an important role in the development of learning, to learn skills and creativity. For learning, these are the active listening capacities or characters. So for the active learner, the students must have the following characters, that is hearing content. They should have the active listening capacity. Those are hearing content, listening for feeling, observing body language, neutral technique, paraphrasing, self-awareness, reflection, questioning, clarifying techniques, and summarizing. So we are also have to these qualities. The active listening only make the teacher to make comfortable with the students. So what is active learning? That is problem solving, interacting, discussing, reflecting, teaching, assessing and acting, and by doing and engaging the students in all these agendas. So through this active learning processes, that is remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating, the students that are engaged in more activities than just listening, they are involved in dialogue, debate, writing and problem solving, as well as higher order thinking. Example, analysis, synthesis, evaluation and creating. So if we are involving the students in this type of active learning, then they will get more knowledge. How we can make our class or our class hours, that is 50 minutes or 60 minutes, in interactive active learning method. So if it is a 50 minutes lecture hour, then we can have 5 minutes reflection or thinking activity. That means we can ask questions about the yesterday's class. Then after that, within 10 to 15 minutes, we can introduce the new topic of that day. After that, after introducing the new topic, we have to give options or we have to hand over the sessions to the students for the group discussion about the new topic for 10 to 15 minutes. Then they can gain the knowledge from their peer teams. Then introduce new topic and that means in the same area for another 10 to 15 minutes. Then again the reflection activity. So if the class goes in such a way, then the students can learn actively and with the full of understandings. And what are the strategies used in this active learning? And what are the benefits or what are the outcome of this active learning. That is, ask before you tell. That means before starting the class or before starting the topic, we can ask questions to the students. We can pose the questions to the students to make them think over on the particular topic. So the outcome of that particular strategy, the activation of prior knowledge. Then think, pair, share. That gives explaining, discussion and collaboration. Think and pair will, after introducing the topic, the students grouped into the students asked to answer for that particular questions, and after that sharing the ideas with the other students with pairing, and finally they'll gain more knowledge with their own and as well as the peer team. Then they will finally come to a conclusion. Then jigsaw, peer instruction, evaluating and synthesizing. This is also the students are grouped into 5 or 6 groups according to their strength. In the group, 5 or 6 members will be there. They will be allotted a topic and they have to discuss with their peers. After giving the the particular time is over, they'll come with the topic oriented materials. Then they'll discuss, each one leader will be there. That leader and with the other groups they'll discuss and combinedly more knowledge they can gain. Then case studies and problem solving, which will lead to real world relevancy, analyzing and application. Then 1 minute paper strategy, which reflects on the learning process. That means after the session is over, we have to allot 1 minute for that session and ask them to write about what you learned from this session. So that is 1 minute paper method. They'll write or they can recall what they learned in the entire session. So what are the characteristics of effective teachers? Organization and clarity in their work, explains clearly, makes difficult topics easy to understand, and uses examples, details, analogies, metaphors, and variety in modes of explanation. Is well prepared, makes the objectives of the course and each class clear, establishes a context for material. These are some abilities for the effective teachers. Analytic, synthetic approach, contrasts the implications of various theories, presents facts and concepts from related fields, has a thorough comment of the field, gives the student a sense of the origins of ideas and concepts, discusses viewpoints other than their own. So finally, no matter what you teach or how you present yourself to students, you have to be on the learner's side and to believe that they can and will grow during the time you are together. Thank you one and all.